Okay, so today is Tuesday and it is, I think, like 10:35 on in the morning. And I just finished getting ready. I don't normally get like makeup ready during these days at home, but I'm planning to go out today, so I need to do some returning of things that I haven't done because all the stores had like no return policy this last couple months. And I'm also going to do some looking for a couple wish list items at the dollar store. I saw I think it was Pookie's View that hauled some planner stuff from the dollar store, so I want to see if I can find those. But I just now need to go gather some things around the house and get ready to go. I guess I should have seen that coming. They still don't take returns of clothes. I knew that they weren't for a while, but I was hoping that they had, because my state's pretty open, like other than some state park kind of things, we're pretty open. So I thought maybe they might be open enough for clothing returns, because I don't know, I'd like to get these things taken care of. I don't like having stuff hanging around in my house, in my car. So on to the next thing. Are you anxious? Do you want to go outside? Yeah, you're trying to get me to let you outside. But wait, you don't need to go outside. Do you? Oh, he really wants to go outside. He wants to go outside because there's lizards and there are bugs. Oh, he's excited because I'm getting up. All right, I'll let you go outside. Yeah, you're going to go chase something. Yeah. I figured since Wesley wanted to go outside, I'd go outside and show you the garden. So, here we go. Alright, by the front door, well, back door, sorry. Got a couple plants. And this right here is where I am hoping to have some vines and things start rooting. I've just got them in water, hoping that they will start rooting. Have my hummingbird feeder. This is the mess. A lot of this stuff needs to get taken out. Alright, so now we come to this area of the garden. Strawberries in there, and looking down, I think, yep, got a strawberry. It's not ready yet. It's still got white spots. There's a geranium. I like geranium. And a mum. And then these are peppers in here. And we've got some eggplant, peppers in pots. And there's my just little water thing, more like a bird bath. And I was experimenting here. So I had all of these tubs, and I put these ones by the house where they would get shaded, and I put those ones over where they don't really get a whole lot of shade. And it turns out that the ones by the house getting shaded are doing a lot better. So they might be getting a little shade, but look at the tomatoes there. Their leaves are out. They're a little yellow, but their leaves are out and looking a lot more healthy. That is probably my healthiest pepper plant right now. This is a eggplant. And then this one has a lot of bug damage, but it looks like it's coming back. The tomatoes look pretty good. All the plants died in that one. So, and then this tomato, I do not know what that is. going on in it. It's also in this pepper that's with it. And I hope they're okay. Now over here, I was noticing that the plants were getting very crispy, so that's why I put this shade cloth over them and kind of held in place with some clips. This is mint. The other two are tomato. So I'm hoping that that helps them not be so crispy-fied. Now, this is my lemon tree, and I figured out that somehow it got topped. Something happened to the tip of it. So I am letting this sucker grow up, so hopefully it will get larger. Pumpkins here, which, as you can tell, the heat of the day, they are a little bit on the wilty side, but they usually recover by the end of the day. If I had to do it over, I would put them over where the shade is, because this full sun is a little hard. But they look pretty good. Like, they are definitely thriving. I don't see any little baby pumpkins yet. So, but they are putting off a lot of blooms, and they're definitely reaching out. That one's like, it's gotta be like 10 feet. Probably my favorite things in the garden. These I got from, I didn't start them from seed. I got them from one of the nurseries around here. But look at my beautiful eggplant. I love eggplant. And this tomato is like a trooper. You can tell it doesn't like all the sun that it's getting. It's a little better now that all the other plants are growing up to kind of shade it a little. But it is it's got some tomatoes on it. I believe it's Aroma. No, it's not Aroma, because it's one of the ones I bought from Lowe's. So I don't know exactly what kind of, I think it's a regular slicing tomato. This one is growing a lot. I went through and pruned up my eggplants because they were getting way too crazy. And then there's a fig, and I really like the smell of it as you go by. I actually pruned it a little bit because it had a lot of suckers coming off the bottom. It looks okay. Believe it or not, my green bean plants have been giving me green beans. I've got a few on here. Oh, there's actually some that are big enough to pick. Yay, and I'll just eat that. I'm not gonna take it in. Just gonna eat it. Yummies. That's dead. I don't know what's doing. Those are some peppers that look okay. This is kind of funny. So I had these poor sunflowers. You can see the remains of the sunflowers. Basically, they got eaten to death. So this big old sunflower fell over, and I forgot that it had fallen over on my, I think it's a jalapeno plant. So it's been living in the shade of this sunflower up until now, when I finally cut the big old sunflower off. Put it down there. There's oregano. It's not actually a weed. Another pepper in there. And here we get to the watermelon, which is doing a good job of shading these weeds for me. They don't need it. This watermelon wants to make babies. There's a little one. There's a little one. There's some bigger ones. Beautiful big ones. Here's my pomegranate tree that I did a lot of pruning on recently. because it was just a bush of craziness. This is my experiment to see whether the tomato would work, put out here in one of these little hills. I think that's another eggplant, either that or a okra, not quite sure. There's my raspberry bush. It's got some raspberries, but they're not as sweet as they were. Well, it was pretty good at the beginning of the season. Still not as sweet as they were. Here's another watermelon. This rose bush is doing pretty well. It has some pretty roses on it. I don't cut these ones very much. They seem to do better that way. This is a spaghetti squash that looks a little bit like there's a baby one, but I'm not sure if it's going to do anything. There's another one. That one looks good. So I do like a good spaghetti squash. Oh, pick up some weeds. These were just a bunch of tiles left over by the last owner that I keep thinking I could do something with. So that's why they stay out here. This grape, I'm gonna need to figure out some kind of better trellis. And it's got a weed down here too. All the weeds are coming out to hang out where there's water from the irrigation. And then my other pomegranate that I did a lot of pruning on. And this little rose bush I've had for a long time. And it looked like it was dying last year. I'm gonna pick some weeds because they're out. Oops, that didn't work. I have to come in there and get a tweezer. It looked like it was dying last year, but I decided to go ahead and put it in the ground because it had been in a pot, and it seems to be getting better. There's new growth, so hopefully it'll come back. And then just a hanging plant. These things are hard to kill, so I put it up there. And this rose bush I really like because it's a good cutting rose. I have cut so many roses off of this one, and it just keeps bringing up more. And they don't have that beautiful cabbage rose look. I do want to get some cabbage roses, but they're nice, and it's working. The irises did all their blooming. So these are the irises. They did all the blooming. And I stuck a random tomato plant in there because I had extras. Same thing that happened here. Stuck a random tomato plant in there along with some spinach that's just hanging out. And this is a zinnia. It's the only surviving zinnia. So I'm hoping that it'll flower and reseed itself. Now, on the other hand, my bachelor's button went absolutely crazy. It is having a fine time and hopefully bringing all the pollinators to the yard because he's pretty. One other thing, these are Dollar Tree garden products, and I have been using them all season so far. So like these, I like these. These work really well, especially for trimming, like doing pruning in tomatoes and eggplants. And these, they will actually do pretty well on like, if it's like my finger size or smaller. And then this I got from the Dollar Tree and I've been using, and it works just as well as anything from a hardware store. So just letting you know, those work well. I said, this is a newbie garden tour. This is by no means how I want it to look. However, it is keeping me inspired, helping me to enjoy my backyard a bit more, because I come out here every evening and kind of potter around, turn on the irrigation and see if anything needs picked, see if anything needs pruned, and just kind of hang out. So it's a good way to get me out of the house. And there's a lot of things I'd like to change. One thing I like about the tubs and the kind of lack of permanence is that I'm getting a good idea about how things grow out here, and also what I would like to change and how I can change it for next year. Because really, when I first started putting this in, I didn't remember how hot and how bright the summer sun is. Like, it's intense. Arizona sunlight is really intense, and there's not a whole lot of plants that are really comfortable with that. So I need a lot of water. And making use of my shade is a big important part, because really by this time of the year and all the way into September and even October, the shade is where the plants are gonna do best. They, to a certain extent. I would really like to get some more trees to provide some shade, and just getting that together. So, newbie garden tour. So, I'm with my grandparents scouting out for our family reunion spot, and I'm going to share a little bit of the footage, but this is such a pretty place. So it's in the middle of well, it's kind of on the outskirts of Tucson, and it has just this lovely ranch vibe. You can kind of see behind me there's a place for grilling out. We're planning to have the reunion in December, so it'll be really nice out in December. It'll probably be in the 60s, maybe getting down into the 50s, which my North Dakota and Kentucky family will not care in the least. They will be going swimming here, and they won't care. One thing you do have to be careful of at this time of year, while I'm walking facing the ground, is making sure there are no critters, because out here they would definitely be a factor. So I'm watching my feet as I walk through, and I hear them, but it's beautiful. It's actually a pretty nice day. It's only in the 80s and 90s, like depending where you're at. In town it's more like 90, but out here it's probably 85. Oh, look at the burro. So I'm gonna go look at the burro out here. I guess you'd call him a donkey. Let me see if I can. Hey pretty. See him back there? Yeah? He's got, well, the thing on his face is to keep the flies off. So I'm gonna walk back in and see what my grandparents are up to. The kitchen area, well, it's the main kitchen area, but there are other kitchen.
This is the TV area.
Yeah, there's TV, there's fireplace, which it looks like it's an operational fireplace. Looks out onto the pool. Alright, so I don't know. I tried filming an entire clip of me getting ready, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work because it looks like something wrong. So we're at the stage where I've already finished like the skin portion, and I've done my mascara. By the way, it's Wednesday. I have to go check what time it is. It's 11 o'clock and I've done a lot this morning, but I haven't gotten makeup on. So anyway, so I'm down to the last part of my getting ready with makeup. And I have this because a friend of mine, it's a Clinique little eyeshadow palette. As you can see, it is used and loved. But a friend of mine, she gets Clinique and she gives me the stuff she doesn't like or doesn't want. So I've been using this because I really like it. So I take this lighter one and then I take the darker color and I just go in I don't do anything down to the bottom, except sometimes I'll add a little liner to, I guess it's my waterline. Not entirely sure. I think I'll do that today. Just kind of light. Just give a little definition to that under eye. I don't put mascara down here because it just ends up all over my face if I put it there. It'll get wiped and everything else. If I feel like my brows aren't showing, because I definitely have plenty of eyebrow. There ain't no need for me to be coloring or doing anything with that, but sometimes I'll brush them. Alright, so there's eyes. And I think I'll put on some just lip gloss for right now. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do, come on, lip gloss. So this one is one of those, it was at the Dollar Tree, but it's just slightly tinted. It smells really nice. It smells like mango. So I'm just putting that on. Let me see what it is. It's called, oh, I guess it's supposed to smell like peach because it says peach here. It says Sheer Moisturizing Stain, Lip Stain. I notice more of the moisturizing than I do the stain, so I'll use that. And then I'll mess some with this hair because it's crazy looking right now. I had everything put away. So I'm just gonna real quick take, this is my workout shower hair. Take that out. And I have this big old comb to kind of go through it. If it would stay like this, I would keep it here. I like the way it looks, but by the time I've gone a little ways, this is what it ends up doing. So I don't like it that way. So I don't know what I want to do with it. I guess I'll leave it for a second. We'll see how it goes. Welcome to my kitchen. I have a sourdough, and I just realized today, I was doing some reading about it, that you have to feed it. I was not aware of that. I just got it from my mother-in-law, and so I'm going to attempt to feed the sourdough. So it looks like this. It's very like bubbly on the sides. I don't know if you can see that. Very bubbly on the sides. There's like this stuff at the top, which I think I have to mix down. But from what I read on the website, to feed it, oh, here's my half cup measurement. To feed it, you have to do half a cup of flour and half a cup of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the 1/2 cup of water. I've got this measuring cup. Half of this wheat flour. And gotta mix that up, and then I'll put it in there and I mix that. At least that is how I hope it goes. So I'm actually gonna take out this whisker thing and whisk it up. And then I have not a whole lot of space here. If I put it in here, I can do that. Okay, so I whip this up and I put it in here. And hopefully it's happy. I was reading that you're supposed to discard your starter parts of it so it doesn't get too much. But like I said, I have quite a large jar, so I have not had to discard any yet. The initial instructions from my mother-in-law didn't say anything about feeding it, so that's why it hasn't gotten fed in the entire time I've had it. Okay, put the cover back on it. I'm using the cheesecloth so that it can breathe and it doesn't like it push the top off or anything, because a lot of gas should be coming out of here if I'm doing this right. Okay, so got it back. Notice that the it's all like this. Hopefully it's okay. Cooking with Amber. Still Wednesday. I think it's more like almost 12 something. Yeah, it must be like 12:30. Just finished doing a Dollar Tree haul and got a email from my principal. I actually got it just before started the Dollar Tree haul, and I was reading it just now, and it outlines the stuff for going forward, and my first reaction is extremely emotional, like very sad to read what we've got going forward. It's just, we're not going to be allowed to have tables. We have to have desks. They have to be all facing one way. They have to be as far apart as possible. We have to get rid of our rugs. We have to get rid of as many non-essential things in the room as possible. We have to cover, well, we don't have to cover, but we have to be aware that they're going to bring in a sanitizing mister. Don't know what that looks like. That could possibly damage any paper products such on the walls. And it's just really hard to deal with right now. We're not allowed to have community supplies. So Title I school, that's going to mean a lot of kids struggling with the supply list. A lot of families struggling with the supply list. And it's going to change teaching practice. Just can't help but it. So I'm bummed. Very bummed. Good morning. This is Amber. It is Thursday. It's 11 something. I don't know. I haven't done anything except throw my hair up after a shower. So no makeup. I am working on some art right now, so I thought I'd bring that in, and this will probably be the last day of this vlog because I think I've got plenty of of footage, but I did want to bring you along and let you see what I'm doing art-wise. So right now I am working on this piece of art, and I actually it's a pair to another painting that I did that is in my bedroom right now, but I don't think this one's gonna end up being in my house because after looking at all my walls, it's like I don't really have a spot for it. So I'm just working on this. I'm going through, and I did a little brush testing to see which one I would like, and I've decided that what I'm gonna use is this. And basically right now I'm just going through, and on each of these little flowers I'm kind of swirling to give it some petals. That's not very good, but I'm trying to do it in the camera. But I'm gonna go through and do that on all of these flowers, and it's a little time consuming, but I enjoy it. And then I'll go through and I'll build up and keep making the flowers more and more like detailed, and it's supposed to be an abstract, but they're gonna get a little bit more detailed and fun. If you notice this this texture, it's because I was using really old paint, but when I started like putting it on, I like to play with texture. I actually liked it. Like, even though it's like really old, really gunky paint, it's like I kind of like the texture. So anyway, thought that would be fun. I'm gonna keep working on this. Hello, this is Amber. It is Friday at nearly 10:30, and I think I'm actually going to end out the vlog today and right now because I think I have quite a bit of footage to put in there, and I don't want to upload something that's ridiculously long. So as you can kind of see, my life is fairly full. There's things. Yesterday when I stopped vlogging after that clip about painting, I had to run over to my grandparents and help them with the Zoom call because they're doing Zoom doctor appointments right now, and it was kind of a good thing because that there were some elements to that call that I think they would have struggled with, and I think that's something that people don't realize is that even because my grandparents are fairly tech savvy, and at one point the doctor needed a picture taken and sent to him right away because he couldn't tell from the camera, and like that was throwing him. So anyway, all that to say, there's some interesting interplay with this whole social distancing. So anyway, that's what I did yesterday afternoon, and this morning I did my usual devotional, workout, breakfast thing, check the garden, and now I'm going to work on editing videos. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It's my first like just general life vlog. And I hope you'll stick around and come back, subscribe, give me a like, comment, let me know what needs fixed. Anyway, bye.